welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be kind of showing you some of my mom's latest finishes, and I'm also going to be putting these away in a portfolio book. So I figured this is a good way to show this, since I don't really have any opinions with my mom's diamond paintings. So it'll be a kind of a short completion review plus a let's cut them all out and put them in the portfolio. So this first one here is this letter C here. This one is from DIY Choose here. I got this as a PR package back in May. And it's a 39.5 by 39.5. This is my mom's 102nd finish, 102. And you're like, Joan, I haven't seen your mom's 61 to 100. It's because I haven't made the video yet. So this one has 20 colors, and my mom took 4 days to complete it back in June. So I actually think this turned out really nice. I actually did something very similar to this, but in squares. And I think this one turned out actually way better than the one that I did one that was a J, and I did it in squares. I think this one is slightly bigger though. This is a 40 by 40 practically. And this one had 20 colors while mine only had like 17, I think, from what I remember. So I'm just using a rolling pin to make sure the stuff is in there. But yeah, no, I think it actually turned out well. You could see the flower petals. That looks like a blob. I guess, are those carnations? Maybe. It looks like a blob, but this flower actually doesn't, this looks actually half decent, and then this flower looks okay. This one kind of still looks like a blob, but on camera it actually looks half decent. So I'm gonna use, apparently my rolling pin keeps moving. I'm gonna use my cutting mat here. I just got this from Amazon. It came as a set. It came with the mat, this big ruler, and the rotary cutter. So I'm gonna. So I tried using some black tape on the sides so that hopefully when I cut it you won't see any white, but we will see. And the last time I did this on video, someone told me that I should cut this way so that and not cut this way so that I don't accidentally cut myself. So I'm gonna try it that way. There. So I had a good response for the last time I did this type of video, so I might not do this off camera anymore. What I'll probably do is like hoard maybe at least 4 before I do it, so I have multiple of them, because I used to just kind of do them as I needed to. But if I hoard 4 of them at least, it'll make a decent length video. There's going to be 6 in this video, FYI. Yeah, I think the black tape does really help it. I can't see the edges, so I might have to do that. I do have more black tape. I might have to do it for some of the other ones. Maybe. So I do also keep the legend here. I didn't cut off. Is 6 the last one? Just making sure I didn't cut off. I keep the legend on the off chance that I actually look at this, I notice something missing, and I want to replace the thing that's missing, and I have the code here, and I tell myself, oh, I need 3865, and then I go into my stash. And if you've seen any of my kitting down videos, you might see that I have a good amount of leftover. So I don't make my mom's journal as pretty as mine. I am just happy my mom is willing to write her start and end date and put in what order she's doing them. She has no interest in filling out any of the other stuff, so but I do like to show finishes in order of when they were finished. I normally would put it into this page here, but since I don't bother putting the finished picture, I just end up putting it all on one page. So yes, I do not make my mom's journal as pretty as mine, or with as much information as mine, but it has enough. It has enough. So this one is a 40 by 40, so it's gonna have to go into my 18 by 24 inch art portfolio. So let me get some tape. So I go through a lot of double-sided tape. So whenever I see it on sale, I just buy more because I figure I'll get it. Unless when I see it on sale, I'm like, okay, I still have several rolls. Then I'm like, okay, I'll just have to go for the next sale. But I do tend to stock up on double-sided tape because I do use it a lot on my journal for this part, framing, kitting up. I've used double-sided tape to put the legend on my containers before, you know, just to try something different. So my mat is actually in 18 by 24 inch mat here. So if I try to, did I say this was a 40 by 40? So that's 16. So there should be 24 minus 16 is 8. So there should be about 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So middle would be about here. And then it should be about an inch. About an inch this way. Should I just not care and just eyeball this? So I might just not care and just do eyeballing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So halfway is more there. Because if I put this in a frame and I notice it's really, really off, I could always reposition it because the double-sided tape will stick to the paper almost permanently, while the canvas, you can pull it off the canvas. Man, it's just not peeling well. There. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the Wednesday or the Friday video. I don't think I'm going to do a kitting up video this week. I have tons of things. I have tons of diamond paintings I can kit up, but I feel that I have so many kitted up already that I would just be kitting up because I want to kit up. And not because I need a diamond painting to diamond paint. So I think this might be Friday's video. Wednesday's video, I have something else. I have something else that I haven't recorded yet. But I have I have plans for it. So there's the first one. I'll show you my portfolio book in the end when we put them all in. So the next one, let's see. Next one my mom did is this one. This one here. It's from Everyday eCrafts. I got this back in May also. And it's a 24 by 24 with 16 colors, 1 regular round, 8 crystal rhinestones, and 7 specials. And my mom took 1 day to complete this back in June. So let's see. I'm pondering whether to put the black tape on there so it's not as obvious, but I think this, even if I see the white on the edges, it's not going to be that ugly. I think I might have cut off a drill. Yeah, I cut off a couple. Like the rotary cutter is so sharp that yes, you will slice off the edge of the drills. So be careful if you're using one of these. I've had comments pretty much telling me I'm living the dangerous life and giving me tips on how not to cut a finger off. So always close it when you're not using it, and now I have the new one where I should cut in the direction away from me. Instead of towards me. So that's where I'm going now. Thank you guys for giving me the tips, because until diamond painting, I've never had a rotary cutter. And until someone actually suggested, I don't remember who, I would have to search my comments, but thank you guys for giving me the comments and giving me the tips, because like I said, half the time I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this in my 12 by 16 portfolio, or my mom's 12 by 16 portfolio. So this is a 12 by 18 piece of card construction paper, so I have to cut off 2 inches for it to be 16. And unfortunately, since I have an A3 portfolio book and it's not exactly 12 by 16, I have to cut off just a tiny bit so that it will fit. And I put a piece of red tape over there to tell me where to stop. There. I'm probably going to need that again. There's another one that's a smaller one. So there's that one. Get my tape again. I have noticed that my mom has been pretty much like I bought some frames when Michaels had a buy one get 2 free event. I should have bought more. My mom has pretty much gone through my stash and framed anything that she thought was nice and then put it up on my wall somewhere. So my walls are a lot more decorated than they were before. For whatever reason, the putting something up on my wall is very hard for me. And not like hard as in it's difficult, it's just more like for whatever reason it just does not happen. So, and my mom's like, you're doing all these diamond paintings. You should be displaying them, not just having them in these books so you could look at them. And she's like, you could always just change out the pictures all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. For whatever reason, somehow getting that frame on my wall is like an endeavor. It's an endeavor. So that's about 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's about half that way. It doesn't matter. So last week I did try using borders around using washi tape, and it's a little bit more effort, and I don't think sometimes it detracts from the picture instead of making it better. So I think I don't know, maybe unless I feel like it, I'm probably not going to do the same thing anymore unless I feel like it. And plus, you actually go through the washi tape really quickly, putting them around your diamond painting. Well, I'm sure some of you guys do use washi tape around your diamond paintings. I tend not to, because it tends to not be sticky enough. So there's the next one. What's the next one? I have like all the paintings on the side here, so it's just a matter of me finding it. Okay, so it's this one. It's this one. It's from Colorful DIY. I got this back in September 2021. It's a 32 by 51.5 with 25 colors. These are rounds. And my mom took 4 days to complete this back in June. She actually wrote something down. Look at that. Look at that. She wrote, "Unreadable writings on vase. Tried to redo vase number 1 and 5. So I agree with her. You can't really read it. You can see that it's okay. But this was supposed to say to make mistakes, to have bad days, to be less than perfect, to do what's best for you, and to be yourself." And my mom told me she tried to fix this one. So this is her effort to try to say to be yourself. And then she also tried to fix this one to make mistakes. And then after that, she was like, it's not worth the effort anymore. So she didn't bother fixing any of the other ones. So yeah, the writing on diamond paintings are kind of iffy whether they're gonna show up. So I was just hoping that this would be big enough that they would show up. But otherwise, if you didn't know there was supposed to be writing, it actually looks okay. It's okay. The flowers are not the clearest. I think the butterflies look decent and the jars look decent. And this writing is actually decent. It looks like it's okay. There's only so many times I can say that it's okay. So I didn't roll the other one because it was a special shape one and there's different sizes and you really just can't roll those. I tend to roll those after I do all the small sizes first. So, it's okay. I figure if I do the smaller sides, the longer sides will be shorter by the time I get to them. This one actually has some pretty large edges. Oh, this one is upside down. I remember when my mom first started, she actually preferred doing the crystal rhinestones ones because she could tell when it's upside down because the crystal rhinestones have the silvering in the back. But I think my mom has been getting better because it's not, I don't see half as many ones that are upside down. She's like, I can't see it anyway, so it doesn't matter that it's upside down. Oh, I think I sliced off a couple. They must have been on the edge a little bit. But that's okay. Can you tell I sliced off a couple? which legend should I keep? Probably whichever would have been fine. This one has the nice legend, the 1, 2, 3. Well, the letters are not in alphabetical order, but the numbers were. And keep the legend here. Use my widest tape. This is my widest tape. No, actually I have a wider tape. Because this one is actually, the legend is printed really nicely. It's pretty big. And there. So this is a bigger one too, so I need a bigger sheet of paper. So I mainly have been just using the A3 portfolio book and then my 18 by 24 inch portfolio book. I have in the past used the 11 by 14 one for the 25 by 35s, and I also have the 13 by 19 one, but I think going forward I'm not gonna bother getting more of those sizes. Unless this 12 by 16 doesn't become, or this A3 one is not as available. Because normally, my original plan was to use the 13 by 19 for my smaller ones, but I found out I ended up not using it as much because the 11 by 14 ends up fitting the 25 by 35s and the 25 by 25s. So I don't end up using my 13 by 19 portfolio book that much. So I do have 2 of them, and I don't plan to buy another one after that. So I think I'm just going to keep up with just my 18 by 24 inch one and my 11 by 14 one, or 12 by 16, depending on what is available. Or A3, not 12 by 16. I'm like, do you need to see everything? I think that's centered enough. See, like I said, this is why I go through a lot of double-sided tape. Because I do cut out all my diamond paintings. I don't see the point of keeping them with the legend. I like having them on, if I can, I like having them framed or in the portfolio book. So there's the second one. It's okay. Let's see, what's next? The next one is this one here. It's this bird. I could probably move you down a little so you can see it closer there. It's this bird wreath with some, I think it's a Christmas wreath. So there's ornaments here. And is this oranges? It looks like peeled oranges. Like in person, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what is that? But on camera, it actually looks like kind of what it's supposed to be, the orange. See, orange in there. So this is one of those ones that you kind of have to look at afar. And once you look at it far enough away, it looks kind of decent. If you're looking at it like me, like not far away, you're like, eh. So this one is a 35 by 35 from FG Normal. I got this back in October 2021. And this has 29 colors. That's actually a decent amount of colors. These are rounds, and my mom took 4 days to complete these back in June. So, cutting this one out. Wait, forgot. This actually is my baking, was my baking rolling pin. I think I'm gonna get another one. I haven't made pie crust in ages, like, so I barely ever use that for, and I actually think pie crust making is one of the most tedious things to make. It sure does taste good though. I'm gonna buy a new rolling pin at some point when I'm like actually gonna go bake things again. I kind of stopped baking because, well, I've done some, but I don't do it as much as I used to. There's a hair there. Let me just tell you, I shed hair like crazy. I'm actually more surprised hair doesn't randomly show up on top of my diamond paintings more than they do right now. See, the thing with the white backgrounds are, I feel like you can tell when it's not perfectly placed a lot easier than when it's a black background. But I could see my mom multi-placing. I could see it. I could see the 4-placer. I've actually gone back to being a 4-placer. No, this one. A 4-placer again because I went back to my plastic multiplayer placers. I think the metal ones are awesome because they don't wear out, but the plastic ones are so much lighter, and I think I must have built up my like hand muscle because once I moved back to the plastic ones, I felt like I was diamond painting much faster because they're so much lighter. So I think I'm going to go back to my plastic ones again and then see how long, and then start getting annoyed because I have to keep changing out the tips. The metal ones are like, they're forever practically. And plus I was able to go back to my lighter pen. I have like a plastic pen that I got from AliExpress that I really like, but I had to stop using them with my metal tips because the metal tips would actually break them. So like if you use it, I've actually broken the pen before, but the plastic tips so far are not as hard on them. So, and I went back to that pen too because it's so much lighter. Yeah, so I think I'm going back to my lighter pens because it makes a massive difference. Like, I think you get more arm fatigue, hand fatigue from the heavy pens. piece of paper here. So like I said, go through so much tape here. Where's the top? I like having the longer piece of tape at the top and bottom, and then the shorter piece of tape on the sides. And that's why I was looking which one was the top. I think I could just probably tear these instead of cutting them with the scissors, but I think it would be easier, I think, possibly to peel off the paper doing it this way. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think that's in the center now. It's getting kind of warm in here. This might be my last video I'm recording today. Tomorrow's supposed to be warmer, but not 90s. Woo! It's like awesome when you're like, oh, it's gonna be warmer, but it's not gonna be like the 90-degree days. So there's this one. Let's see what's next. Is this butterfly here. So this one, actually, I would have to say, I think this turned out really, really nice here. There are some like diamond paintings with the black outlines turn out really, really nice. And I think that's why places like Diamond Art Club excessively use their black outlines, because you can see the edges. But this is something that requires black outlines. So, well, I don't even think it's black, but it looks like black outlines. So it's this butterfly here. It's from Fan Cells. I got this back in May. It's a 24.5 by 24.7. So I must have been kind of measuring exactly. So there's 18 colors. These are rounds. And my mom took 2 days to complete this, also in June. Yeah, no, this one turned out really nice. It looks really good. It's a little bit more pixelated in person, but it's a simple enough picture, I think. I think it's simple enough. So I'm thinking of putting the black tape around it, because I think with the black edges, you're going to really see the white on there. So I do have some black tape here. This is just tape that was, it's like a plastic tape. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it again. It was relatively cheap, and I just like the narrowness of it, but I don't know if I'm gonna purchase it again, because it does not, unfortunately, it does come off the canvas. So, and my original reason for buying it, because I thought it would be hopefully more sticky than washi tape, because washi tape also annoys me because it doesn't always stay on the canvas, while I've got like masking tape is really good on the canvas. It's just masking tape tends to be wide, like really, really wide. So yes, I'm putting on tape just so that I'll end up cutting it off. But I think it helps hide the white edges. I should have put it on before it got diamond painted. Nope. But I mean, this tape was cheap for the yard. And the main reason I'm doing this is so that when I cut it out, I won't see the the white canvas. Especially with this black outline, it'll be more obvious. I actually have clear tape on this right now. So probably the black tape is going to stick pretty well. What I'm looking for right now is black masking tape that actually sticks, that is in this kind of narrow. I have one that I think might be okay, but it comes with multiple sizes, and sometimes it's like, can't I just have the one size? There. Yes, I know. I'm gonna put the black tape just to cut it off, but like I said, the whole reason is that when I cut it off, I'm not gonna have the white edges. There. Keep the legend. There's only 18 colors on this thing. And I could take this tape off. But yeah, now you don't see any black edges. I mean white edges after cutting it. And this is legend here. We don't need, I just need this one. So I mainly use my really thin narrow tape for taping on the edges. I might use the thicker one if it's going to be like a huge diamond painting, but I find just using this size is perfectly fine. And this is just the really narrow. This is what? 1/4 of an inch one. And so this is the 12 by 18. Gonna need to cut it a little bit because it's too long. Like, you could actually leave it about 16.5, so I only really need to take off 1.5 inches, but I just do the 12 because, I mean the 16 because there are 12 by 16 frames. But you don't really see A3 frames in. You don't really see A3 frames in the US. So, might be getting down to the end of my tape soon. Oh. My tape only goes up to here. And then that's it. That's all. The rest of it is stuck to the roll. So that's it for that one. I do have more tape. Because I just buy it when it's on sale. So I might have too much tape right now, but let's see, center. I think. Okay. I didn't put the black tape close enough to the edges. I do see a little bit of the white. Because I should have put it on before the drills got put in there. Oh, this is the one that's just short. Oh man, that's like, I think it's not straight. Oh well. I know it looks straight. It doesn't look straight at the bottom. It looks straight at the top, but not the bottom. I don't know. So another one down. Last one. This one here, I have no idea how I'm gonna cut this. It's a circle. It's a circle. This part is not diamond painted. I'm probably just gonna cut it at where the lines are. I don't think I have the capability of cutting it round. Can I cut it round? Yeah, I don't think I have the capability. That just looks really hard to cut this as a circle, so it's just gonna stay with the white edges. How much can I do? So this is the last one. This one is from DIY Digital Art back in May 2021. So I've had this for a little bit. It's about a 33.5 centimeter diameter. It has 22 colors. These are rounds, and it took 4 days to complete for my mom, and she finished it back in July. So yes. Just pondering. Should I try? Or is it worth it? I'm gonna try just doing this first, and then I'll see what it looks like after I cut this. I'm gonna have to cut it with scissors though. I don't know about the rotary cutter. Oh, I forgot to roll it. That one has some good crunching in there. Oh, I see this one. Where was it? It was this one. It's upside down. Drill. And I saw another one. Where is it? I saw you. Where are you? Oh well, if it wasn't... Oh, there's this piece of corgi hair. My mom did this while she was at my sister's house. Corgi hair. That corgi hair just gets everywhere. And I know it's corgi hair because it's light colored. We all have black hair. Oh, here's the other one. It's upside down. There. Oh, this thing is coming with... I think this one actually turned out really nice. I don't know if I said it. This one, like it, you can see the fishies. They're swimming around. In person, it's a little bit pixelated, but on camera, the fishes look really good, I think. And then you can see the lotus here and then the pad, lily pads. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I think it's just like a burst. I don't know. I don't think I have another round one in my stash, but I think I have one that's shaped like a hexagon or an octagon. I forgot if it was a hexagon or octagon. Yeah. I might try cutting it. It might look worse. It'll have the white edges. This is a little bit on the long side, so I might cut it in half. There. Oh, but I realized I'm like not on the screen, not on the camera. There you go. So, should I cut it? Should I cut it? Should I cut these white corners off? You know what? Either way, it's gonna be showing white, so should just cut it. It's too late, I started cutting. Yeah. Should have just stuck to the hexagon ones or rectangle and square ones. I'm committed. I'm cutting. Yeah, I think that's gonna look kind of but it is. Since I've already cut off the corners, there's no going back. And I don't have the 18 by 24 inch sheet in white. So it's gonna be on a black background. I lost the drill. There's a drill here. Did I cut off? I might have cut off with. Might have cut something off. Oh well. I don't know where it came from. Now the question is, how do I put the tape on this one? So it's going to be the big one. This is the bottom. So this edge is straight and this edge is straight, and then I have my... It actually doesn't look too horrible, my cutting. It looked kind of bad. Oh well. Maybe if I... and then just kind of fold it in, it'll work out. It's probably plenty. Has a lot of dips, or not dips, but folds. Maybe. Close enough. No. Why are you giving me such a hard time? There. There. There's my circle. Right, so there's that one. So let me do my small ones first. These two are my smaller ones. And here's my mom's portfolio book, the A3 portfolio book. You might not have seen this yet because I haven't gone and recorded my mom's finishes. See, I was doing the washi tape edges and I thought it looks okay. And then it's just, I feel like it's sometimes too much effort, but it also distracts from the painting. And this one. There. So these two in here. My mom's almost halfway done with this. So I can see center part here. So there's my mom's latest finishes. And I guess I plumped these things in order of when they were finished. Here. And then my mom's massive 18 by 24 inch portfolio here. I feel like I need to move things out of the way so I'll be able to open this up. So I won't need all of this stuff on the side anymore. Here. So I might have to put the stuff upside down so that I could go into the sleeve from over here. So there's my mom's last finish that I put in here. You might not have seen it. So yes, it is upside down. And you might be wondering why I didn't use the paper that comes with this, the black paper that's in there. It's really flimsy. I like my construction paper because it's a little bit more heavy. I always ponder what the right orientation is for these ones that are landscape, how I should put them in here, but I always put them in so that if I am holding this here, this is the orientation. So, and here is, and I do put my diamond paintings in order but backwards, so I always start at the back and then the front has the newest thing. And that's mainly so that I don't have to flip through all my diamond paintings to get to the back. And last one is the fishies. I've thought of getting the 16 by 20 inch art portfolio because this is usually overkill for some of these, but I haven't found one that is as cheap as this portfolio, this 18 by 24 inch art portfolio that I found that were like $20 each. So yes, there is, now that I've slipped them in, here are these finishes. There's the fishes, this bird with the wreath, the it's okay. I'm not going to turn around my, and this letter C. All right, so that is all I have for today. I'm going to move you down. That's all I have for today. So thank you very much for watching and happy diamond painting. Bye.